Welcome to the Locker, season 4, episode 13. Lucky 13. Wednesday the 13th. That's a lucky day. I'm your man, A. White. No Van Hiles in the house tonight. He is a commitment to coaching and family, which we made a deal years ago that this show would not interrupt any obligations, especially families' functions. But what we do have in the house tonight is one of the best people in the business. Unique guy. And for the Locker, it's perfectly fitting. Jay Hazze, the host of Religiously Kentucky podcast. And when you mean Religiously Kentucky, it is, you have people who believe in God, Jesus, God, one or the other, or both. You have people who don't believe in it at all. The people who believe in it feels like, no, although you cannot see it, trust it. Trust and believe in them. And that is how Jay Hazze is. So as this show goes on, we will see how this takes over. Because hey, everything that's blue is good to him. So, here we got opinions. So we're gonna see how this go. Welcome to the show, Jay Hazze. I appreciate you for joining me, man.
I appreciate you, man. You lost like 20 viewers when you said Van wasn't here. You said Jay Hazze. I'm out.
No, man. They Clark County, man. They don't know who the Clark County. Y'all don't know who Clark County Bomber is? Huh? Hey, they don't. Hey, Jay, they gonna find out tonight. They gonna find. Hey, they gonna find out tonight, man. Man. Before we get anything you gotta get off your chest before we start, so I know what kind of mood you in.
I'm good. I mean, like, I do recall like a little tension, maybe on a podcast that you jumped into over the weekend, and like the last bit I got was FJ Hazze. That's all I got. I saved the soundbite because I'm gonna do some special things with it.
Hey, well, you know what, man? I don't even follow this stuff, but I woke up one day. When I woke up, I was going in to do no, that was after Sunday morning. I was cutting up the film from I was trying to get the film ready from last podcast or last show. And I was looking, I was like, why do my numbers look different? Like, my numbers always stay the same. I don't have more people. So, man, a bunch of people dropped me. I don't know. Either they like you or they don't like me in profanity. But on here, Van always is doing profanity on here. So, yeah. So, I don't know. Once I jumped in your ass the other day, man, my followers went down.
I think it was the other way around, though, really. Because I felt like I gave you the business, though, for real.
No, shit, man. Come on,
I mean, like, I felt good. Like, afterwards, like, I was kind of pumped up. Like, I did a few push-ups. Like, I felt like I got you a little bit.
No, man, nah. No, you got people interested because people probably hear you. I got a little small point on Sunday, and on this show, Van do all the talking. You gonna do all the talking. So I'm just gonna throw the questions out to you. When I'm gonna call you on your bullshit, so we'll get back reeled in at that point. But we gonna do all the talk. Blickenstaff. Oh Lord, Blickenstaff, you said you got a serious question. You're gonna ask it, but I'm gonna start off with this here. Hazze, you gotta gone. Transfer portal.
Yeah.
My man Jack Pilgrim told us it was iffy.
Yeah.
It was all about the people. Larry Vaught don't like the people. So I don't know who these people are who's making the decisions. And before you say anything, these people are the same people that brought Oscar to us. So if you got a problem with the people, otherwise the people was going to keep Oscar in West Virginia because whatever money they dealt, whatever they handled was decided was good for him. But Ugo gone. What's up, man? What's your take, man?
I mean, like, is it the best interest for the kid, or is it the host family looking out for themselves? I don't know, because it seemed like the kid was happy at Kentucky and wanted to be at Kentucky. We heard Cal just recently saying how he wanted to use him. that could be part of the reason why. Using, people went crazy playing 2 7-footers. What? Even though one's a post and one's a stretch 5, possibly, but it upset a lot of people. And then a little bit over a week later, it's and like you pointed out, Jack, he was all over this already. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if the handlers, whatever you call them, host family, whatever they are they looking out for the kid or themselves?
Well, let's dig into now. I guess black on black slavery can be a thing. I guess Africans did have slaves, but let's dig into a locker style. This is basically what I'm asking you. You danced around the question. This is basically what I'm asking you. What you just said, his handlers brought him here. So his handlers is the ones who set up whatever the setup was going to be. And I'm going to tell you this. I ain't 100% sure that I'm quote unquote, I'm media, not 100% sure that the decision was made based off money. And at that point, honestly, if Uganda wants to stay here and play basketball and play for the University of Kentucky, have our fan base support you until they feel like you Wheeler and then kick you to the curb. If you want to play here, that's one thing. Now, if you want to play here and make $150,000, $200,000 a year, it's fine. But if they got you set up to go to wherever you're going to go, St. John's or somewhere, and they're going to give you $800 or $1 million, what would you do? If it was your child, what would you do?
Yeah, I'm taking the money.
So that's kind of where I'm at with it, man. And Cal didn't do himself no favors by giving them no minutes this year, like no minutes, especially in the Arkansas, Alabama's, the games where, I mean, there's UCLA.
He came here not to play at all. So actually the minutes he got was a lot. He was a project. He didn't come here to play this year. So him getting any minutes was a lot for him.
He didn't come here to play this year because of Oscar, or he didn't come here to play this year to develop. Because Jack Pilgrim told me on Sunday that his handlers don't want to use the word red shirt. They said they don't want to use the term red shirt when you're talking about them. Like that was, so I think here's where, and I understand what you're saying. I don't disagree with what you're saying. What I'm thinking is, no, we're going to let him sit behind Oscar. No, we don't plan on starting. Maybe, but they went where? After Oscar, they went, they played him a little bit. They played Collins. So my whole thing was, I think, and here's the two things I think are the problem. One, I feel like after Oscar, they need to see what he can do, because Oscar wasn't as, in certain games, he wasn't as impactful as he was last year. Last year, I can't find him probably one game he wasn't impactful. The second part of it, I feel like he's talked to Damian Collins before that. And I understand you got the family situation. That's absolutely understandable. But the same thing happened with Brooks. I don't know how much further we can go back. I know it happened with another player. But if he's telling Damian Collins, you're going to be the dude if you come back. Probably told Toppins, you're going to be the dude if you come back. And Collins was playing the same minutes he was playing. So I think that's sticking in his handlers. Like, look, we ain't coming back next year. And you're not about to do me like Brooks. You're not about to do him like Collins. You're not about to do him like Ware. That's where I think the second part of it was.
Yeah. Well, what I don't get, though, is all the players and the contracts and all that with the NBA, the players that are coming in, wouldn't you want your kid to play with that talent and play with that coach known for getting those guys in the NBA? Or is it just, I want 10 minutes. I want 20 minutes. Like, what? Like, so are you shying away from competition? Is that what you're telling me? Like, you don't want to, you just automatically want to be given and you don't want to play against the best? Or
this one thing you and I don't see eye to eye about. And you so iffy a lot of times. Like, I know you don't mean what you're saying. You doing it for media's sake, not to please the media, but just to get stir the pot, see what's up, and the truth on the back end of it. But The other side of this whole thing is, and I've been saying this for a long time, you got your BJ Bostons, there's certain people, I mean, even Devin asked you to a certain point, if he's not going to play you, and I bring up Scal and Van ain't here, whenever Van see the video, well, he's a Scal lover. My point is, if he's not your top guy when Bradshaw comes next year, he's not going to play you. If he's already proved that there's something you got to work on, like he wanted Scal to play on the block, Scal is not on the block player.
Right.
And there, like I said, he wanted Wheeler to do things that Wheeler couldn't do. Wheeler can dribble the hell out of the ball. He can distribute the ball, but he can't make interest passes into Oscar from the top of the key. We need wing passes first. Whatever reason, Severe was pounding the rock so much, I have no idea. It seemed like a simple fix to me. Tell him, get the ball to the wing, come off a curl, whatever, But him pounding the ball at the top of the key and stagnant offense, I don't think was just Wheeler's thing. So I think that's my concern with Yenzo is Cal has a history of, if we got something new coming in, you got to wait your turn, and they don't feel like waiting for it. I think that, to me, that's what's up.
Maybe some of Cal being loyal, because he had Damian Collins, he had Ware. Those guys, I mean, everybody would rather have titles. I mean, if that's the measuring stick, it is what it is. It's unrealistic, but I think Cal's fault might be being too loyal to players at time, and maybe push. I get what you're saying, but it's hard for me to think that they just want minutes to play. They just want to play. It's that that's what just play him. Well, if you're not ready, because to me, the little bit that he did play, he didn't look ready to me. Did he look ready to you?
Well, neither. I mean,
like,
looked like he had potential, which is going to come through playing.
Is it Cal protecting a kid? To a certain extent, saying, well, I don't want him to get embarrassed too much. He's got potential to be a certain kind of player. Like if he plays 20 minutes, he might be exposed. Like, he's not the player. It could hurt. NIL could, whatever. I try to look at every angle, but I mean, like, I'm not disagreeing with you either.
I like what you're saying. I don't know where was that same empathy when Devin Askew was out there having me cringe every time he inbound the ball. Like, I mean, even when he let Wheeler go through this year, I do agree with you. But on the backside of that, you got to accept this. Thiero's the same way. Livingston was the same way. Yeah. Livingston, everybody, including you, was Livingston finally getting his groovy. Yeah, because you get to play through your mistakes. One thing the Cal fucks up on is if you make a mistake, you got to come out. Unless you are a top 10 5-star player. If you projected to go to the NBA, you can play through mistakes. If you ain't a top 10 or 15, which is we only get.
I don't think that at all.
Huh?
I don't see that at all. If you don't play defense, if you get beat on defense, your ass is coming out. Cal's a defensive guy. So if your ass is getting beat on defense, yeah, that's a wrap. Have a seat.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say this.
I don't believe that either. I think a lot of the players made Wheeler look bad. Why would you pass back late in clock shot? And this happened a lot to Wheeler. Pass back to a guy who's not known to the point guard to shoot the ball. They made him look bad a lot. So this whole Cal didn't play. You're talking about a Hall of Fame coach.
Oh, man. Here we go.
We're on the couch, for God's sake. A coach that's been coaching for 40 years, dude. Are we sitting here really saying that Calipari played Wheeler wrong? Really? We're going with that. Really? Serious question. Really? We're going with that.
I was prepared for some shit like this out of you. Jay Hazze, sit in. Hey, nestle in. Hey, lean into your mic. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. Is Anthony Davis UK Hall of Fame or Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Is John Wall Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Is Deron Lamb Hall of Fame?
I think so, yeah.
You on your bullshit, man. You on bullshit. Them ain't your. All right, wait a minute. For you, I'm saying, are they going to get in there? So when you talking about what Cal has accomplished, he's Hall of Fame because of what he started doing. Somebody asked me this on Sunday morning. Jay Hazze, answer me this. And appreciate you, Carter.
Not just what he's done at Kentucky.
So not winning championships at 2 other schools is remarkable as well, right?
I'm just saying, man. There's more. Just like the whole blue blood conversation. They won 5 titles in 25 years. Yeah, they missed the tournament 9 times.
But they won it when they made it.
A blue blood. You're talking about conference titles. You're talking about consistency, not just titles. Now, is that impressive? Hell yeah, it's impressive. But it's a whole body of work. I mean, like if winning titles is the measuring stick, then sure. Then Cal's a failure. Then if winning titles is just the measuring stick, then yeah, I will go with that.
I don't think it's the titles, and that's the first thing you always go to. You and your bandwagoners who he's a Hall of Fame coach. Why would you question him? Like there's a lot of people. Like, does Peyton Manning belong in the Hall of Fame? Yeah. Does Eli? I don't know, but Eli did win 2 championships. One. Most of them basically because of defense. Here's the point I was making. We don't win them championships. Deron Lamb hit 20 for the championship game. We win by 6, 7,
8
on that loaded team. But Lamb had hit 20. The next person was mid-low teens. So without his 20, I'm not saying you don't get 20 at all if he's not on the court. But he didn't get a chance. He was the one that got mad. They didn't invite him back to one of those events they have. The players come back because he ain't in the NBA. They didn't invite. So my whole point, Cal's Hall of Fame to me. Does he belong? He belongs in the conversation. I think it was premature. If his career is backwards, if he's doing what he did now, is he going to get the 11 years, 12 years to do what he did those first 4 years?
You mean
if he started the way he is now, if he started at 23 and went backwards, is he going to get a chance to do what he did then?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say with his resume. It's hard to say that because we're talking about 3 bad years?
3 historically bad years. Nobody else has been that bad.
One historically bad year, 9 and 16. Right?
No. That's a Devin Askew
you're talking
year?
About the 2 missed tournaments.
Well, that's a Devin Askew year.
Yeah.
The Devin Askew year and the Ryan Harrell year might not have been historically. The Devin Askew year was historically. I'm saying that Ryan Harrell year was bad. And don't tell me somebody got injured, because if you got the best squad in America, you'll be able to plug another 5-star player in, man.
I'm saying, and you know, the whole conversation about, well, Cal's a Hall of Fame, but it's not just that. You're talking about someone that's been doing it for 40 years with high level talent. That's like me coming to your job. I've been there a year and going, no, I got this. And Anthony White's been doing that shit for 20 years. What? Like, nah.
Hey, I'm speaking of said situation, I ain't gonna buy it. I know you gonna be on my side. But from what you just effing said, Anthony White was in the top 10 in receiving and rushing for damn near 20 years until Benny Snell and them started knocking me down to 13 or 15 or something. I'm still in the top 10 in receiving, but in rushing, I'm probably 15. But I was for 20 years.
I know
and they
that.
talk about putting people in, and I'm not saying I belong in the Hall of Fame, but using your theory,
I believe
it's too late.
That.
It's too late to go back. It's too late to go back and say, we fucked up. Let's put Anthony White. No. So
I was
for the
one of the
last
people.
15 years, y'all didn't know this motherfucker belonged in there.
I was one of the people that said that. Like, what the hell's what's up with this? I'm the one that because I mean. It's not just, when you hear people say Cal's a Hall of Famer, why would you say this or that? You're talking about someone who has coached high level talent for 40 years.
Oh, no. So, I mean, put it like this. Here's the only reservation I got about giving all the credit you give. Here's the only reservation I got is with the amount of talent you had, I think you did less. And everybody said he underachieved with him. So you're saying, and here's the other side that you may have a point. You haven't said it yet, but I'm sure it's in your holster that you don't get that talent if it's not Calipari. So you may not even be in a situation to have this talent. But when you did get the talent, I think you underachieved. Does Jay Wright belong in the Hall of Fame? Does Billy Gillespie belong in the Hall of Fame? Does Calhoun? Does Izzo?
Right.
Does what's the dude at Syracuse? Boeheim.
Yeah. Does he? You talking just wins?
So,
let me say,
I don't think they should get. I think it's premature.
Cobb, and you're right. You're both right. I mean, like Cal isn't above criticism, and I'm on board with what you're saying. But at the same time, it's like we're just not going to talk about the wins, the Final Fours, the Elite Eights, or is.
It's moronic to say you can't question the coach simply because he's in the Hall of Fame. Bobby Knight, Denny Crum, Eddie Sutton, John Chaney, Boeheim, plenty of Hall of Fame coaches get questioned and left.
I just said that. I just said that.
So they're a little delayed, so maybe he didn't catch you coming off saying that.
Yeah, I mean, like I agree. Cobb is right, and you're right too. Cal is not above criticism. I didn't say it, but it's like we're just gonna like I said, the titles are the measuring stick. I guess so. We're just gonna take everything else off the resume. The Final Four runs, put in position to win titles. No one has got egos together better than Cal. Coach K tried to do it. Had one of probably the best recruiting class of all time with Zion. Yes.
Fab Five. I don't know. Fab Five.
I agree. Did they win a title? Timeout.
I was trying to read the questions or whatever. No, I don't really think it's about the title. I just think at the end of the day, like I had a really good high school basketball team. Yeah, I don't know what Clark County had over there in basketball. I know they had football.
Well, they won the title last year and were runner-up.
I'm back in the 80s. I mean 90s. I'm talking about back in the 90s.
Decent.
But we had 5 players, 2 play basketball, 3 play football professionally. And we lost to the state champs and was up by 17.5. He refused. My whole point is, but he runs around. I'm talking my whole community of Twinsburg Heights is pissed off because he had all this damn talent and we didn't win the state championship because all he would do pass the ball 3 times. So, like, he never taught us no X's and O's, and he was Italian as well.
Sometimes the best team doesn't win.
Nah, when you that superiorly dominant, if you're that superiorly dominant, hold on. And you know what, Jay Hazze? I give you that much. If you don't win it and you got a team like John Wall and them, like Twinsburg Chamberlain in '94, if you got that team and you don't win it one time, sometimes the best teams don't win. If you get 8 or 9 of them damn teams and don't win it, come on, Jay Hazze.
Final Fours, Elite Eights, Sweet 16s. Put in position to go on a run. Do you want to be put in position to win it, or UConn and miss it? Will you take the 5 for 25 and miss the 9 times, or go to the Final Fours a lot, go to the Elite Eights a lot, and put in position to win more? We haven't won more though.
You know what? And I thought I heard you say this before on like Twitter Spaces or something. Sunday Morning Sports Talk consensus says they would prefer you not to win and just not make it. Just like we're not good enough this year, we're not going to make it. Rather than have a good team and not win it.
Right.
Our fan base prefers that.
I've talked to a lot of people. I would rather have the 5 championships and 25. It's all or nothing. Me, I'm the other one. I would rather be put in position to win more than 5. and Cal's put his teams in position to do so.
Well, I think the point of it is, I think this is the point, Jay. If you don't have the Ryan Harrow team, the Askew team just wasn't put together well. Like if you won, it would have been a miracle, and we just wish you the best. But when you come out and you got really like even what they say about this year's team wasn't bad as everybody act like it is.
Right.
Did they gel together like you said earlier? No, I don't think they gelled together very well. I think
injuries.
We spent half of the season.
We got those injuries in there.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold the hell on. Wait a minute. Injury maybe with Kaysen. Do you think CJ Frederick wasn't knocking down shots before he got hurt? Wheeler, they didn't want to play. So only injury that kind of really affected us probably was Kaysen. And then these Bama's want to get mad when they saying, well, Wheeler's not available to play. And now Kaysen's production goes down because he had to do what Wheeler was doing.
Yep.
You had to guard the top of the key and get to push the ball in and set up offense.
Yep.
Now y'all mad? Well, Kaysen's production went down. Well, no, Wheeler's not a good shooter as Kaysen. Probably better ball handler. And
even though at the beginning of the year, Wheeler was the only one hitting shots at the beginning of the year.
Them things were bouncing on rim 2 and 3 times, though. They weren't going straight down the net.
Wow. If it goes in, it's points.
Yeah. I think once he started questioning himself, you start looking over your shoulder, man. I'm never a big fan of that. At quarterback, at wide receiver, running back, and especially at the guard position. I mean, anywhere really on the basketball court. If you got to take a shot and look over your shoulder, and that's one place I think injury might have helped you, where I think Livingston got a chance to stay on the court more and play through bad, rough patches, because now we're moving Kaysen to the point, moved other people on the floor, and CJ Frederick's injury, I think, allowed Livingston to stay on the floor where, he can play. He can always play. And I hate that shit, like with Bryce Hopkins and Brooks and a lot of people. Like, you get limited minutes or you get 5 minutes a game, make a mistake, and you come out within 2 minutes. We try to put you back in again, and you miss. And you. So I think that is rough to play with. And you talking about staying in front of people playing defense. There's several games Oscar got
every game
and Toppin.
Oscar was the biggest liability to me, I thought.
You say what?
But Oscar was the biggest defensive liability on the floor at all times, I thought. But it's Oscar Tshiebwe. He's getting 20 rebounds. It's like, what do you do? And he was getting killed on pick and roll. I mean, like, he was just not good at defense.
I agree with Fred in the first for the second. There we go. Well, so we got Kaysen said he's leaving. What do you think about the Toppin leaving? You think he has enough athleticism to make it at the next level?
Yeah.
Right decision?
Yeah.
Right decision for him or right decision for UK?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. It's time to go. And he's ready. I mean, he went last year and got feedback, worked on the things that he was supposed to work on, came through, did those things. He's ready, and he's athletic as can be. It's time.
Reeves, do you want him back? Can you see him?
He's coming back. He's coming back.
You think he is?
Yeah.
You think
six-figure NIL says he is. Six-figure NIL says he'll be back. He's going to go get that feedback, do that, and they'll tell him, work on this, work on that, blah, blah, blah. He'll come back, NIL, 6 figures. He'll be back.
So does he really care about playing? I don't know. They still saying Dillingham is up in the air. So you got DJ coming back. Is he going to be the 2?
I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I mean, like, we didn't hear anything about roster construction at the beginning. No one said anything about build a roster construction. And now that's all you hear from people. Like, everybody's playing 2K. So now it's roster construction. Like, everybody's talking about, like, it's what? But it is what it is. Who knows? You got your ball knowers and truthers out there on Twitter that they'll tell you I mean, they have it figured out. So Twitter is the best place to look for it. and not being snarky there, that's for real. These guys, they know.
And and Scott Gregory hits it right on the head. Cal overfills his rosters, has an 8-man rotation. So we always gonna have disgruntled players because you ain't gonna have nobody who's gonna want to come here and sit. We thought Hugo was the only one who said they wanted to come and sit, and probably did. If Ware comes back, which probably is, and Theorem, like, I don't know. You can't get no dogs, and you shouldn't get no dog want to come here and be the 6th man off the bench, man. I just don't think you get that. I was going to ask you about.
I mean, I get that too, but it's also you're getting to compete with the best talent in college basketball. Yes.
That you absolutely do. Is that your end goal? Is that your end goal?
Cal has had players that didn't start go in the first round. They get to play with high-level talent. Yes. I mean, like Devin Booker is one.
That was rough, though. That was a rough year. That team was just, those teams was just stacked. And
I mean, he wasn't Devin Booker that he is now.
He was Devin Booker here. He just never got the minutes to prove he was
his
Devin
defense
Booker.
was horrible.
Devin Booker could shoot here, man. Here's the thing. So
he went cold in March.
Hayes, how many people? I mean, when you just said him being 6, how many people in front of him play in the NBA?
I mean,
how many people on that squad that was in front of him while he was on the bench playing in the NBA or got to play it any significant amount?
A couple.
Who was in front of them? The Twins and who was the third?
I mean, they both didn't. They both played in the league, not longevity.
That's what I'm saying. This dude's a franchise player,
right?
So that's what I'm saying. So maybe if he
wasn't the Devin Booker then that he is now, though. This is 6, 7, 8 years later.
Like, we don't know that he wasn't because he never got a chance. Okay, what's the old black ass dude's name? Black motherfucker.
Maybe it's because he played against all that good talent, though. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. You know what I'm saying? And look at him now. There's a reason that he went in the first round, and not start.
Damn, what is his name? The dude from Africa, huh?
I'm
trying to
think. Gabriel.
William Gabriel, yeah. He had a game. He wound up. Oh, man. And I'm telling you, this shit, it pisses me off when somebody has a good. Oh, look at him. He finally came out. No, you finally let him play. Play through your mistakes. You finally played. He's on the NBA. He's still in the NBA. The Twins ain't nowhere to be found.
Right.
And I'm not knocking the Twins. I'm just saying, when you come to Kentucky, everybody is open to being criticized except Cal. If Cal don't put you in, then I'm telling you, I know this. I ain't going to go back to me again, but I'm going to go back to me again. I was on the bench behind running backs who never played college football after our first set of coaches got fired. Them dudes didn't even play. But I wasn't good enough to play. So, y'all got fired because y'all misused somebody. Right. But I thought you had something to say. You seem like you.
I did, and I lost it.
Oh.
It was good too.
If it come back, just jump in, man. Book was fired.
Yeah, he went cold. He went cold.
Trying to do too much. I don't know. Booker. They said he could have been a defense. I can't really remember, but he said he had the fastest shuttle time at the NBA Combine. Like he had the fastest time for everybody.
Right.
So I'm assuming. So with that being said, I'm assuming he can stay in front.
What I was going to say was, I agree about Cal holding back. I mean, like, it's a joke amongst all his former players. Well, Cal held me back. Ha ha ha. But yeah, I mean, so there's got to be some truth to it that they're all still joking about it.
Yeah, nah. Here's we switch over to a little bit of football. This is another huge topic that's been coming up, and like I said, I don't know. I'm scared to ask you because I don't want you to piss me off, man. You've been doing a good job. You have. You've been doing a really good job.
Hey, man, I've toned down, man.
Yeah, because you got me in trouble on Sunday. So I'm glad you did. Man. Got me in trouble with my followers.
I did.
Yeah, apparently. Is this a make? No, I'm talking. I know some people in the know. Is this a make or break year for Cal?
Yes.
Me and you had you and JD Shelburne. I guess y'all try to team up on me since Black History Month gone. Now y'all want to jump on the black man.
Wow.
Is this make or break season for Cal? Wait till next year, and it's supposed to be his best roster constructed since probably John Wall, then, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, there's still question marks, but yeah, I think it is. I think it's definitely time for the conversation. It's been time. Like I said, he's been down, but a lot of people wanted to do it this year, and it was like, no, because of the class coming in. And it also gives you time to say, okay, we need to really look, because this is Kentucky. So we need to really do a coach hunt, not just let Mitch Barnhart miss.
Right.
He has missed.
Right.
So I think, yeah. And I'm a Cal fan, but I think it is, like I said, he's not above criticism. So with the talent that you have, Final Four, if you go on a run, then maybe no. But if you crap out in the first game or the second game of the tournament, don't make the tournament, then yes, definitely.
To me, tell me if you agree or not. To me, his sweet spot is Final Four. He get to the Final Four and lose. If he get beat by a buzzer beater, maybe in the Elite Eight, depending on who the team is. But what I understand is if he wins it, up through, if he go round to 32 or 64, it's over. Like there's nothing more for you to do. Do both of us a favor. Because like I said, the game probably has passed you. And here's the thing. I'm gonna take this for you, Jay Hazze. I'm gonna back you up a little bit. You can use these sound bites in your head every night when you want to use them. I do get you one thing. One of my favorite football coaches, I got my ass whooped by him, also played with him in Steve Spurrier. Steve Spurrier walked away from the game when he said, I can no longer get through to these kids. I will not. Then he told his athletic director, you ain't got to worry about firing me. Like, I'm not going to lose enough games for you to fire me. But if I'm not doing a good enough job, and Steve Spurrier walked away from the game, one of the best ever to do it. So I do get that. And that's where I do get where you're saying Cal was really good. I don't know if it might not be a Cal thing, because I have no idea what was going on between Cal and Oscar that midway point of the season. But I also think it was Oscar and Wheeler, the person, and on Cal's team, most important person on the floor is the point guard.
Right.
I don't care how good Oscar is. His point guard dominant team, even T on that team with Anthony Davis, was always got him into the right situations. Didn't get flustered, didn't do too much, didn't do too little. So
I mean, I don't know anything about it. Like, and this is just rumor. So there's no truth to this, but I think it is. And I think you've talked about this before, but I think it's NIL. I think it's, Oscar's over here doing this in the Bahamas, or, he's doing this and people are not happy with that. I mean, it's going to cause a lot of problems. A lot of people think that it's going to even out the playing field, maybe a little bit, but those small schools that are dropping that mill, how long are they going to sustain that? Like a Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, they can keep going, but those schools that are going to drop them, they can't keep that up. So you might see them get that one great class here and there, but they can't keep that up. So I don't think it's going to even the playing field out, but
hold on. I ain't with you on that. Hold on. Let me check out something.
And like I said,
because
the rumor though, but I think there was some of that with with this team, maybe a little bit amongst a couple players, you know, maybe a little jealousy. I don't know. Like I said, that's rumor, but
you talk sustainability of, and that's one thing everybody's talking about, sustainability of blue bloods. So UConn, I don't know if you consider them a blue blood. Now they got, to me, they got to be in the conversation. Kansas won last year. Then you got Baylor, Virginia, Villanova, North Carolina, Villanova, Duke, Connecticut, Louisville, Kentucky, Connecticut, Duke, North Carolina. Well, it was a bunch of blue bloods, but I'm saying in the last 10 years, Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, 3 out of the last 10 years. And I think there's going to be parity. So is somebody going to be the power? Is somebody going to make the runs that UCLA made back in their heyday, or Florida back in the late, early 2000s? Probably not.
no.
But I don't think players, put it like this. When I asked you this earlier, I don't think players are going to the big schools no more if Cincinnati going to offer you 1.5 or Xavier going to offer you 1.5, West Virginia going.
How many times are they going to do that, though, is what I'm getting at.
It ain't them. It's the boosters. It's the cold money. It's the boosters.
How long can they so they can do that more than a Kentucky, Kansas? They can up that? Or is just, are you saying the blue bloods are just not going to do that? Like Cal's like, nah, we're not going to give you just what you want. We're not going to be held hostage. And I think Cal does that. I think maybe some situation here lately that might have been involved saying, no, I'm not the one.
Yeah, and I think that's what happened with Ugo. But
yeah, could be.
But I do think, and here's the thing, this is what you need to be definitely worried about. Texas coming to SEC. Texas got all the damn money. You said, are they going to do that? Texas don't care. What? Yeah. What you want? 100 million? They don't care. And here's the problem we got in Kentucky, and this was my problem from the beginning when everybody talking about Oscar coming back. And Reeves might not be a guy high on the totem pole who wants a lot of money. Reeves might just be like, hey, I want to play. Give me my 6 figures. Because when I graduate college, I might play in the D League for a minute. I might not make a bunch of money. But they're not about to pay DJ Wagner 2 or 3, then pay Oscar another 2 or 3, then pay Bradshaw another. No, Kentucky's not going to do that. Now, like you said, the smaller people, yeah, because if you want DJ Wagner, number 2 point guard, like Bledsoe and Wall did, now you got to pay both of them. Well, shit, all right, you getting $5 million over there? I'm going over here. I'll take my $5 million over there. Because at the end of the day, you're going to end up in the NBA anyways.
Right.
So, I like I said, I think the time has kind of passed Cal by as far as, getting these guys to play together, because somebody said, and I don't know how you feel about this, Lil Wayne told Deion Sanders that after looking at Colorado's locker room.
I saw that.
Like Oscar, and everybody knows Oscar changed from last year. People had film on him. They probably studied him. I don't know if Oscar got any lazier, but I do know, talking to college coaches who I'm friends with, that those NIL deals are stressful on these kids. You got to go to work. You got to go to class. You got to go to practice. You have scheduled NIL time, whether it's 2 or 3 hours for your NIL deal. Then you got film study. Then you probably got study hall. Like, you are all day long, so something's going to give. So, okay, somebody about to drop you off a $50,000 check. Man, I'm going to slide over here to the student center, man, see what these babes talking about for a minute. I was supposed to work. Shit, I get a workout in after practice, man. So I'm telling you, I already know. Like, I wasn't paid money and was pimping, going to class, going to practice, getting no sleep, and kicking it. So you give me shit a $15,000, $20,000 check every couple weeks. Man, hey, what y'all want to do? Hey, we going up, man. We going over here, man. We going to Cowboys. Man, we going to Platinum. Man, we going to Pure Gold. So I don't know.
I think it's going to be a struggle, like you said, for the smaller schools. I mean, I agree. Oh, damn, Cobb. Shit. I've heard people say that. That's pretty funny. But you're saying these small schools can keep up. I just disagree with that because, like you said, they could get like the DJ Wagner and say, yeah, we'll give you a meal. But what about everybody else? You talking about, I think smaller schools is even going to be worse because, for one, it's a smaller school, and these not so highly ranked guys are going to be like, fuck him, you know, or whatever, you know. And you think these egos at these blue bloods is bad. One player at a small school only getting money, and these guys are like, well, you the man, you do it all then. So I think the NIL thing is a mess. I mean, it is what it is. It's the Wild Wild West.
Somebody, they keep saying, I think this, oh, it's an April Fool's joke, man. One of my homeboys, Jack Givens, wingman, was telling me, said, Bronny committed to Penn State. And I was like, I don't even think Penn State got a damn basketball coach. But I bought it from him because that was April. So I was looking at it, that was April Fool's joke. And I was like, which although they coach did a hell of a job through the tournament, though, the coach they had in there. But here's the other thing they were talking about. I don't know. You know the situation with Matt Jones and Cal?
No, I don't.
I think one thing I do feel bad about Cal is I don't think Cal should have to go through the shit he goes through with UK.
Well, let me say this real quick though. Media, some things are on record and some things are off record, and that's a very respected thing.
Right.
Sometimes when it gets disrespected by the media, you're cut off. Maybe that has something to do with it, but when something is off the record, you don't go talk about it. So, and I agree with Cobby on that too. That's true too.
The only thing I kind of know from inside scoop is, and I don't know, so the media people give Matt Jones, the Jack Pilgrims, they give them this information. So right. Like now, mind you, I got friends that coach in UK football.
Right.
I'm pretty cool, big. Like I could have them tell me before stuff happened, and I leak it, and everybody start coming to me. No, I don't want that.
Right.
I don't want that pressure on me. Y'all can find out through the people you find out through it from. But here's the thing: Barnhart kind of has, he absolutely has ownership over every sport. So if him and Cal is at odds, don't nothing leak, dude. Like, don't nothing leak. We talked about this last week on the locker. Vito Tisdale being removed from the team is the worst marketing, and they found no reason to protect him. They found no anybody else. You got to dig through and find out what happened to Vito. Right. They came out publicly on the 5 o'clock news. Vito Tisdale removed from the team, will no longer be part of the team. Like, damn, like
team rules.
That's what happened. Oh, yeah, no, they could have left that in house. So I think the thing with Matt Jones is and Calvin is UK can't do nothing to Cal. So they letting the media, they leaking shit to the media. And Matt Jones feel like he big enough, and you hit the nail on the head. If he don't want to say nothing to Matt, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Right. He ain't got to speak to that dude. Like, that dude is really nobody. Now, granted, he has the biggest platform radio show in Kentucky and elsewhere. Great, brilliant. I applaud that. That's awesome. But I think it's gone to his head. You are actually like you're not the landlord of fucking Big Blue Nation, you know?
Oh yeah, and that because they gave him carte blanche with their information. Right. Like I don't know how they chose to give it to Matt. Like I have no idea. There's tons. Well, Tom Leach too respectful to do anything with information. Dick Gabriel too respectful to do anything with information.
I've seen Cal and Matt at games before. Now this has been some years ago.
Right.
Having an exchange like on the court, like, hey, laughing and joking with each other. Like I've seen that.
But Cal has to do that. Like you said, who's Matt Jones?
Yeah.
Like
He
I
he
ask
was
people,
probably like, fuck you,
yeah,
fucking
he
dick.
has to
Yeah.
do that in public. You gotta smile.
Right.
That's what he's
Right.
supposed to act like he disgruntled. So now all of a sudden
Right.
they
Oh,
ask
well,
now Matt
no.
Jones, huh?
Well, he could just walk off and just say, now you don't get any of my time, you know?
Nah, I think he let them know, like, look, dude, you making money off of me. So I'm gonna keep
Right.
winning games.
Right.
I'm gonna keep winning games. You keep reporting what you want to report. I don't know. So I go to work all the time. And what you call it, dudes be like, man, so what do you think about so and so? Oh man, that kid, he ain't gonna play this year, this, that, and the other. He too this,
Right.
he too that. Well, Matt Jones said, all right, so what you asked me for?
Right.
Oh, I was just saying, no, don't ask me no motherfucking football question. We're following up with Matt Jones said. If you gonna believe what he say, believe what he say. I'm not trying to convince you nothing. I'm telling you what I know, but I'm not offering you that. You asked me, I gave you my opinion. You take them both, sit with them, and decide what you want to do. I do not understand where he got so much cachet. And the only reason I think, from what I know from the inside, the only reason he has cachet is because UK leaks information to him, and he's the first one to have information. Because all the people we know that's been in media for years, like I said, Dick Gabriel, Tom Leach, I don't even know who worked for the other stations. I only know the people work for WLAP. Like even Ryan Lemon before he went over there. Nobody's willing to disrespect the program or report something that's not positive because I don't know. That's just not how they get down. It's just respect for the guys who do a job, like you said. And I give you this much. Cal being a Hall of Fame coach, with him being a Hall of Fame coach, I'm not going to disrespect you because you're a Hall of Fame coach. Do I think you deserve it or not? I don't know. I think at the end of the day, he probably does.
But everyone has that right, though. Regardless, everyone has that right. You know, there's a lot of people who go, man, Cal, like Scott had. You know, Cal's offense is everyone's entitled to their opinion. But when you're on that big stage and you're getting information from, like I said, some things are on record and some things are off record. And I think things have gone too far. Like, you prick, you knew better than that. And now your ass is cut off, you know, and now it's a whole Cal, it's all this negative towards Cal. And just so happens that his platform is so big, then you have 100,000 idiots out here regurgitating the same bullshit.
Yep.
Like everybody's like, no, dude, that's the worst take ever. It's like everybody's like, well, they're so bad. I'm like, how about the players around him, like putting him in position to fail? How about that? You know? And when we're talking about Oscar Tshiebwe, you know, JD brought this up. You know, Oscar Tshiebwe was the best and the worst thing for this Kentucky team. The best because it's Oscar Tshiebwe. We know what he can do rebounding the ball, you know, and the worst for his defense. But it's nuts, man.
Yeah. So here's what we got. We got about 2 more topics left, man. This show kind of flying by, man. I think I'm doing too much talking, man. My jaw's getting sore.
Man, I've been talking, dude.
Nah, man. Like I said, I'm just trying to get my topics across. I feel like Jack Pilgrim, man, he take 15 minutes to get a topic
Jack's the guy. Like I'm not a KSR fan. I respect what Matt Jones and what they do and what they've built. That's amazing. But like Jack Pilgrim, people like that, those are the guys like that I like.
Yeah. He worked his ass off. Curtis Burst was doing the same before he went over to UK. Not saying he ain't working his ass off over UK, but when he was independent, he was everywhere.
Zach Gagan too is another a guy that puts out great stuff for KSR.
For signing the KS bar when he wasn't allowed to make money.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I'm not saying that is true, but I'm saying yes, that was a big rumor as well.
Another topic that's been running around here.
Almost got him deported.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it must have been some significant amount of money then.
Yeah.
Dang. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I ain't never really hear that situation.
Rumor. He put that out there. Rumor. So
why would any money be? There's always somebody who gonna run their mouth, man.
Yeah.
There's always somebody. And that's been, that's another thing.
That's a thing because I want to be the first. I want to be the first to get the news, you know.
Yep. And that's like I said. I think that's another thing that's hurting Cal at this point, man. I think Cal's so big, everybody trying to either make their way up the ladder, everybody trying to please Big Blue Nation, become friends with the players and whatnot, and they leaking information.
Yeah.
It's too much damn information. Like I heard, I don't know if it was a scrap, but they said it was two people had real bad beef in the locker room. And I believe nobody ever really told me, even Jack wouldn't tell me. So we talk a lot off air. I don't repeat what he tells me. I let him break it and they go and break it. I ain't trying to steal nobody's thunder, but
some things are on record, some things are off.
But yeah, I think they what you call it, man. I think he got some snitches in his camp, or some people who got different agendas. They not down for Cal or for Big Blue Nation. So
yeah, I'm
gonna give Cal a mulligan. I'm gonna give him one more year, and I feel like he got to reach Final Four, and don't treat us like we idiots. Well, me, I'm not really. I don't consider myself media. Larry Vaught get mad. I don't consider myself media.
Hey, but I will say though, he asked them simple basketball questions in post game, and I was telling you to ask Larry how many questions that he has answered from Cal in post game. Simple basketball questions. It's crickets. No one answers. He goes, "Do you guys even watch the game? Yeah, you're writing stories about the game."
Yeah.
So, you know, when are you supposed to be like not snarky because the media is putting all this bullshit out on you? I mean, like, so I get it, you know.
I think the media try to apply whatever type of pressure they want to apply. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. All of a sudden, so we have a whole damn basketball season. You remember the middle of the basketball season, where all this tension and all this drama came up about damn practice facilities?
Yeah.
Like that just went out. If it's a problem, it's gonna be a problem. If it was a problem, every time you see me, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
I'm gonna address it. I'm gonna allude to it. I'm gonna hint about it. But so I don't know how big of a deal it was, man.
It was. He had Eli Capilouto traveling. Must have been a real big deal.
Who?
Capilouto, the
president.
Yes.
What was it? His problem? What are you saying? That he
when him
and
Mitch Barnhart were going at it. Eli Capilouto was traveled to a game, or remember Cal was like, yeah, we got Eli Capilouto to a game, and that's when all that stuff was going on.
He said here, so he wanted his facilities. Should at least the volleyball team, they done won a national championship in the past 3 years. Go ahead and get them together. Then hopefully Kyra Elsie, she's supposed to be getting the girl from Tennessee, Brooklyn Mills. What is it? Something like that. Miles. She on the portal. Hopefully we'll bring her back home. We can do some of that type deal, man. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know how big of a deal all that stuff is, facilities. But you know what's crazy? For years, I know a lot of these people in the comment section they kept up with Sunday Morning Sports Talk, and there was like a 2-year span. We was talking about the recruiting room. Like the recruiting room was just a corner of the indoor facility. And then once we got the recruiting room, though, we took off.
Right.
Like we did take off. It's crazy.
So, you're kind of seeing that with the baseball team.
Yeah. Because we that first time around they didn't have a new stadium. That was 2 years before the new stadium, right?
Yeah.
So speaking of other sports, they talking about the Bat Cats. Messiah Russell, man, we track you. We ain't a basketball school or a football school. The only team that really, I mean, I honestly, cheerleading has been doing their thing their whole time. Track been doing their thing for the past like 20 years.
Yeah.
See, now we
rifle,
track or cheerleading, rifle. Yeah, I just don't know how rifle is calculated. Like I don't know how many.
Yeah.
But they didn't dominate. They didn't dominate their thing. Here's what everybody asks: is and I don't know. I'm gonna see how you feel about it because I'm so close to it. They ask, is this a must-win season for Stoops? The Stoops need to get over the hump this year.
I mean, like I want to say this without being like a smart ass, but like it's Kentucky football. Like Kentucky football fans are okay with 7 wins, which baffles me. Like I don't get it. And people think that I'm the crazy one for going 12-0, 12-0. Like, if you don't want more for your program, then really what kind of fan are you? You're a content fan with 7 wins, that you're good with that. I'm not. So I would say, yeah, Stoops. I mean, it has to be conference titles or even playoff talk. I mean, like, it is time to get over that hump.
So what record would they have this year that makes you feel like?
I mean, like,
people
he's
feel
at
like
least
we go in the wrong direction.
Yeah, he's got to win 10 at least, and you can't lose to Vandy or South Carolina.
So 10 wins gives
At
us
least.
a loss to Georgia. Oh, whew, dude, we play Alabama home this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Georgia on the road, or
Yeah.
Georgia home too. Our home schedule is nice. I think we got Florida at home.
Bama's at home, ain't it?
Bama at home.
Right.
Tennessee at home.
Yeah.
South Carolina's away. Vandy's away. Like, all the away games is shitty games. Maybe we probably got Missouri at home. Probably Missouri. 9-3. You cool with 9-3?
I mean, yeah, that's a good record.
10 games mean we gonna lose to Georgia and Tennessee, Georgia and Alabama this year.
I would agree. Yeah, I mean, like, you've had 2 10-win seasons. Yeah, I mean, Kentucky gets. Hey,
get his ass, Cobby Cobb. Get his ass.
Cobby Cobb's right, though. I mean, and yeah, I mean, like, we should be winning conference titles. That's all in the conversation, because I put it in the conversation because I'm not one of those, like, winning titles is not my measuring stick. Yeah, that's the goal at the end of the day, is to win a title, but that's unrealistic if you think you're going to win a title every year or every other year, whatever. So, yeah, I mean, like, it's time for Kentucky football to be in that conversation for winning the conference.
Scott Gregory must be a Tennessee fan, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of right.
So we own Florida? How many times we beat Florida? 4 out of the last 5? Or 3 out of the last 5?
Something like that.
Yeah. I'm kind of with the difference between football and our basketball team with me is, here's the problem I got with you. And this is why I'm cool with the UConn takes. If we got a good basketball team and we are progressing, making adjustments and headed toward the right direction, then somebody gets hot and we lose on somebody getting hot day. But we dropping games all year. We lost to Vandy twice in basketball. So my whole thing is, if we supposed to win, like, you may have a bad game, you might have an off game, you might lose. But this whole year, we haven't been consistent. We haven't showed that we understand what we're supposed to do to win. I mean, same thing in football as well. Like, we come out and beat Florida. Maybe Florida overlooked us or whatever. Florida ain't what Florida used to be. But we never put together any protection for Will, nor did we put together any type of game plan to get the ball out of Will's hands, so Will didn't have to hold the ball and take hits or make decisions while getting hit. I don't know. Oh, Greg is a UK fan. He just thinks he owns us. Okay. They've been in the SEC East conversation. That's where I'm at. If we stay in the SEC East conversation, if it stay between us and Georgia and another team ever so often, if we can do that, because we can do that essentially losing to Alabama and Georgia. I mean, what if we lose somebody else? We got an issue. But yeah. Well, that's what we was talking about before. Blick and staff. That we was talking before.
Yeah. And I don't give a pass to the basketball team. I'm just saying it was kind of sarcasm about, Stoops opening his mouth, going, we've done our thing.
Jay Hazze gotta go take. No, so I'm kind of with y'all. I I'm gonna say 9 wins to be safe because I know we're gonna have a letdown game. We're gonna have a letdown game.
See, we shouldn't. We shouldn't have a letdown game.
We ain't to that point, but these kids now with the NIL, man. If I
The culture has changed.
tell you off air what I know about NIL,
right? I'm just saying the culture has changed.
NIL
right?
changed as well.
On paper, we supposed to. Did they get the old line fixed? If they got the old line fixed, or are going to get it fixed, this team should be really good.
I'm gonna ask
Maybe one of the best they've had.
It should. After everybody said, I'm gonna ask you a question. If the old line ain't no better, it won't be. I'm gonna ask you a question. How well do you like Josh? Not Josh Pascal. Ox and Dime.
Yeah.
What happened to him last year?
You tell me.
He lost weight, didn't he? How you come into your pivotal season where if he had a good season this year, he could have flirted with coming out. He went into a backup role at a certain point. I think he's backing up right now. I ain't gonna. Hey,
and it has to do
I ain't
with
doing nobody's business out there, huh?
Right. But
NIL's motherfucker, man. NIL. If you got a chance to, why if you poor or you just a young 21-year-old black man, young kid, and you sitting there with $50,000 in your pocket, you just gonna sit in the house all day?
Well, how about UK start teaching these kids how to some financial literacy a little bit, you know? Definitely a boss.
Oh, I think they do.
You know, and those are things that John Calipari always speaks up about and saying, you know, these young guys, you know what I'm saying, should be taught these things, how to manage money. John Calipari did that.
It ain't really so. It is kind of to manage the money. It's the discipline of knowing I'm gonna get up in the morning. I'm gonna go work out. That would do. You know, that's what jack people up in the NFL or the NBA. Nobody in the NBA is coming to get you out. You don't have AGAs, grad assistants coming to ask you to come to practice. So, you know, when you get out practice, nobody's telling you not to stay out drinking all night, not to stay out gambling all night. Like when you're not at that practice facility, you on your own. Me and Van talk about this all the time. When we both played with the Rams, which is 2 years apart, when Kurt Warner left, they didn't see Kurt Warner. Like, I hung out with Dre Bly, Torrey Holt. There was a couple of, like Marshall, a little bit, but not a lot because he didn't really hang out. Yeah. But when everybody leaves, it ain't like college. We all go back to the dorm, play video games, or we go into. No, when you are done with that 2-hour practice, 2.5-hour practice, you watch film. Everybody go there. So if you want to stay and watch practice with your teammates, you stay and watch practice. You know, college now you only got 20 hours of practice. So if they don't decide they want to stay,
right?
If you don't say you want to live, I believe, and I say Ox is my dude. I had very high. Ain't nobody more disappointed in Ox than myself.
Right.
Not disappointed in a bad way, but Ox. Nobody has any idea why Ox lost all that weight. Like, that wasn't in your plan. Like, I was on the weight gain thing. They weighed me every day.
Right.
Every day. Man, I was putting 2-pound plates in my compression shorts. It got to the point I was putting 5-pounders in there because I had to meet my progression. Man, I was about 185. Man, I was supposed to get up to like 198.
It sounds like Stoops isn't doing his job then.
Hey, man, we better get off.
Just saying.
We better get. Hey, I ain't gonna say once he got paid that he did any more work. Once he started getting up in that $8-9 million range, I ain't gonna say he did any. I ain't gonna say he didn't do any more work.
Isn't it the coach's job to look out for these kids in best interest? All the coaches, not just, you know.
Yeah. I just think, like you said, man, I just think you got a little extra money, man. Your ex-wife live on the other side of the country, man, and you just enjoy that money a little bit, man. They just enjoy that money a little bit. I just hope football and basketball. Shout out to Coach Mingione, baseball team. Shout out to
and you know they've been hollering for the last couple of years to fire his ass.
Yeah. Yeah, he doing his thing now, man. He aggressive as shit on the bases, man. He aggressive, man. If he want, he stay trying to get a 1-run edge. Like if he can get 1 run, he ain't trying to get multiples. He'll take 1 run when he can get it, man. It's he thought he could Pascal type player, but didn't work that way. I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I don't think Ox was putting in the work after he had that good year last year. I don't think he put in the type of work that Josh was, and I really don't think he had nobody in there pushing him.
Right.
That's why Justin Rogers left. But Shadell Walker, Keyshawn Silver, and them other guys. Man, there's some dudes in there. They probably pushing him to get back to his old self. But I just don't think he was. I don't think he was pushing him. I don't think he was getting pushed to the point that he should have been. Like Josh was pushing him. I haven't tried
Tar.
You tried it?
No, I don't. Nah.
Is that bourbon?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. When he came out and opened his mouth, like, because there was no need for that. It wasn't a slight that Cal did. I didn't think, and he had to get all blah blah blah, fiery guy from Youngstown, blah blah blah. Like, dude, I was like, nah, dude, your bourbon sucks. Sit the hell down. But a lot of people say that they like it. So
I think it's all a choice if you like the person, because that fresh was the fresh bourbon is some the girl. The guy must have went to college with us, but I went to school with the wife of the people owners of Fresh Bourbon, and so I seen somebody post on this is young and I understand it's African Americans, and to me I ain't no big bourbon. I tell you, don't pull your good bourbon out for me because I can't appreciate it. I want to appreciate it. Like right. I drink tequila, like I just trying to get to where I'm trying to get to, but. So don't bring you a good bourbon. So I can't recognize a good bourbon or a good beer. So
yeah, I mean, like I eat hot sauce on everything I eat. So you think man, my taste buds are shot. Like they're gone. But yeah.
What do we need? We need to hit the portal for DBs, linebackers. We thin. I think because I don't know what happened to Thrower, Marquez Thrower. I think we need a. We strong on that first line against DBs, not safety, but corners. We was last year, man. We won deep. We got Andrew Phillips kind of in there. When people keep talking about going, you can't go portal O-line. I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. Keep a buck with you. You can't really go portal O-line. Me and Van talk about this all the time. One, especially this late, if you in the portal at O-line, you wasn't doing something right. Like. You don't just hop in the portal at O-line. Like skilled players, you might not get the ball enough. You might be deep on the depth chart. Like, I'm going to follow this up by keeping it a buck with you. What was the dude's last name? Manning. We had Manning last year. Dare Rosen. What is it? Is it Rosenthal?
Rosenthal. Yeah.
The year before. Didn't really add up. Now, I think they probably needed another year to develop. And they didn't. Neither one of them stayed. But we got both of them jokers out of the portal. And ask me, I'll see why you was in the portal. And I felt like if Slarman was still around, we probably could have got them back together and got them where they need to be. But people gonna say we need to go to. No, we just got to develop them. You know what I mean? We might hit them, but if they leave them where they're at O-line, that's really the only position I can see because. We got Jacquez Jones balled out. We got Keidron Smith balled out. Boss Man Fat balled out. We got some guys who transferred in shit. We got Ray Davis about the ball. Wandale, we got some guys who balled out, but for some reason, I just don't think offensive line is a place you want to go digging around for.
And it sounds like that's an issue again this year. And if that's the case, then my prediction is going to be 6 wins. I'm not going gusto 12-0 this year.
They said Liam came in there and looked around like things wasn't like it was the first time he was here. Just the depth he had at positions, the commitments them guys had. They said Liam got work to do. He gonna earn his paycheck this go around, man.
Right. And we're gonna get to see because And they got playmakers. They got playmakers, so he could do it. But that first time around, Wan'Dale Robinson was a big percentage of his offense.
Yeah.
And he made him, not only him, but Will Levis look really, really good. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not sold on Liam Cohen. So we'll see. Hopefully he does.
Wait a minute. What's 14? Talking 14 games? What's on draft picks? I don't know what the hell he's talking about. You say G-Raft, does he mean draft?
I have no idea.
We got to get our dog. We do got to get our O-line. We do got to get our O-line together. I agree with him. But like you said, if they don't, this is the last thing I'm going to ask you before we get out of here. I was watching ESPN. I got a bet with a guy. I ain't going to say nothing about it. I got a bet with a guy. We was talking about Will Levis's draft spot. They act like Will Levis's. I was wondering why. That's why when he said 14, I was, why would it be 14-0? Like, how the hell would we just stop at 14-0? Like, if you're 14-0, that means you're in the national championship game. And then what you do, tie?
Hey, I'll take that. I'm down for that.
When John said that, I was saying 14. So why is he saying 14? Because you win 14 games, shit, you got to be in the.
Hell yeah.
So they think he's going to the Raiders?
I don't. I think he's going to.
You still think he's going top 10?
I think I saw that he's going to be the third quarterback pick, which is like 14 or something like that.
I always
like
heard
that. But he's going
to.
But what I saw was going to get traded around somehow, and he's going to end up in Tampa. So I mean, the way they do stuff, like, it's not complicated, but it's like they make moves constantly. It's hard to keep up with.
Right. Man, well, we'll see. Like I said, I got some money on it. I'm not saying where my money is at. I'm not saying what I thought, but I thought he was projected top 10. I thought he was even flirting with top 5, but I think here recently after his pro day and Anthony Richardson's performances, and I don't know what his interviews. I ain't heard a lot about his interview process. I know like the interview where they ask you questions is different than your board work when they ask you to recognize defenses and.
Right. It sounds like he is quite the talk with his interviews, like, and not in a good way.
Oh.
Like,
I didn't know that.
Arrogant high school kid. Like, not smart. Yeah.
Oh, damn. I'm going to do my research for the next show, man. You ain't got no problem beating up football, but if as long as it's basketball, Cal's in the Hall of Fame, and he'll beat up the football players.
Cobb is right though. Like, and the only reason is because football is my first love, and I want more for Kentucky football. I'm not okay with 7 wins. You know, that's why I have these crazy predictions. I want more for this, and Stoops has turned it around. That changed everything. And I just want more. I'm not okay with, it's great. 8 wins this year. Good. I want more. Wow. And I also want more with Kentucky basketball. It has been not good, but you just don't throw away a coach like that. You just don't. Yeah, I mean, that's a hard job to fill. There's not many people that can do it. You can get whoever. There's a lot of top coaches, and I'm not saying that, but to put up with everything that goes with it, it's a whole different beast coaching at Kentucky.
Yeah, I agree, man. I see you in the head on your participation jacket for 30 years, man. So I thought that was pretty deep, man. If y'all get a chance, man, go on over to Jay Hazze Twitter page, man. Wait a minute, was it Twitter? You just shared it with me personally.
Twitter,
yeah. He's showing his stuff, man. His Clark County, man, 15-0 championship jacket. That's why he always yelling 15-0. He know what it feel like to go 15-0.
Yeah, undefeated.
I don't got that luxury.
Man, yeah.
But We got the legend on here, man. Clark County Bomber, man.
Yeah,
Clark County
yeah.
Bomber, man.
Yeah.
The gray goat.
Hey, I was a running back.
I figured you probably were.
I was a running back. I was a tailback. I ran kickoffs and punts back.
How many catches you have? About 200?
More than that.
I was just checking, man.
No, dude.
Yeah, you said you played running back. I figured you was one of the best. I was just trying to see how I add up.
In my class, but the guys like I play with were like very good. Very good.
Right. You play against Bryan Station? You play against Lexington?
Oh, man, that team, that 91 team, man, they beat the brakes off everybody.
Yeah.
Louisville, Trinity, St. X, there wasn't no, yeah. They had, hey, man, they had some beasts, man, like Tim Hampton. Like, these guys were just on a different level, man.
Shoot, man. Well, I appreciate it, man. Got it in, got it out.
And Cobby Cobb was pretty decently nice to me. So, like, and I just want to say that I like his football takes, but his basketball takes stink. I'll just say.
Nah, you crazy. You crazy like that glue, man. Man,
I'm just giving Cobby Cobb a hard time. I like his takes, actually. I don't like, we all disagree with each other's opinions sometimes, but it is what it is.
Cobby Cobb agreed with me a whole bunch, man. Like I said, I don't follow a lot of people as far as like seeing what somebody else say. But if I'm in the thread and I see it come across, me and Cobby Cobb usually on about the same level. There's a few people, man. And you got Ann. She agrees with everything I say because she know what it is. Man.
Ann is the coolest.
But yeah, man. So before we get out of here, man, I'm sure everybody on here know. I don't know if Blick and staff follow you or Scott Gregory. I know most of the other people do. Where they find your work at, man, where they get religiously Kentucky. And today he wasn't so religiously Kentucky. He was semi-religiously Kentucky. On religiously Kentucky. Man, you can't say nothing bad about Kentucky.
Hey, man, I don't sugarcoat. A lot of people think I sugarcoat, especially for the basketball. There you go. Yeah, you can follow me on Religiously KY on Twitter. Anywhere to get the podcast. I got one more episode coming out, and then I won't be back until the end of August. I'm going to take a break and chill out, do some behind the scenes stuff. But the podcast is available wherever you get. Appreciate the follow. Wherever you get the podcast, iHeart, Apple, wherever.
All
and
right,
follow
man.
me at Jay Hazze KY as well.
Yeah, that's what's personal take. Him and JD Shelburne is butt buddy, man.
Like, I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who that is.
Who's the big spoon?
I don't even know who that is.
JD Shelburne? He's a singer.
Who is that?
He's a musician.
I don't know him.
Shoot, you better check on him, man.
I'm just saying.
I thought y'all used to sleep in the same bed together. I thought it was bunk beds at first, but I think y'all was big spoon, little spoon. Who's a little spoon?
I was waiting for this bullshit. I was wondering when it's gonna hit. I was wondering.
Hey, man, it's all good with me, man.
Man, I appreciate you having me come on. I know I don't. It's off. You and Van have a whole special thing, man. You guys have been there and done that, so I appreciate you letting a fan come on and just spew some crazy opinions. I appreciate that.
Okay. So Ann shows up at the end of the show. We don't know when she'd probably over listen to JD Shelburne music. But I like having you on there, man. I mean, you wasn't the same Jay Hazze you are on your Twitter, but you bring valid. I mean, you bring the I try to be the rational media guy, and you are bringing a lot of the points that the media that the public have. And like I said, I know on media a lot of times, just because I know you personally, I know on media a lot of times you embellish as if you feel like the point is valid, but I know you ain't dumb enough to completely believe like all the fan base believe, like you came on here and said tonight. Is Cal Hall of Fame? Yeah, he's Hall of Fame because they made him Hall of Fame. Does he deserve it? It can be arguable either way. Is he above criticism or why he deserves it? That's arguable either way. But to say, which your comments sound like, and a lot of people in public sound like, he's a Hall of Famer. How are you going to tell him?
But see, you got to say that to get it. And when I say that, what I mean though is, I mean, he's been coaching high level talent for 40 years. It's hard for a fan sitting on the couch to say, well, he didn't use Willer right.
Yeah,
I you know, like what? Like, so it's hard for me to take that take over how a 40-year guy who has coached top talent does, you know?
Yeah, man.
When you play in your church league. Like, what?
Right. Man. All right. It's 10:30 on the dot. We got y'all in. We got y'all out, man. We appreciate everybody. Go check out Jay Hazze. Jay Hazze KY.
I'm a hoop.
KY, Religiously
I'm
KY.
a hoop. Yeah, KY.
Check it out. I don't know. I think Van got another appointment next week. We're going to say, I think I want to do a round table because by then, all the sports going to be off. We try and get Jay Hazze back. Let's see what his work schedule look like. If y'all get a collection played around, we might be able to pay him. We might be able to bribe an NIL, talk to his handlers, get him back out here. That's
if
what
it ain't 6 figures,
I'm
going to have to look at the budget. If it ain't 6 figures, man, I'm hard to get, man. I'm hard to get.
Hey, we gonna find Oscar's handlers, man. Shoot, man. See how we can get that little we get that discount, man. I know we get a discount, man.
Hey, I'll be in here for a Subway sandwich, bro. I'm easy going, man.
Shoot, man. Again, man, we appreciate it, man. Like y'all all head over to the Locker 411, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Check it out. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Bring a friend to watch next week. Go back and watch the replays. Tell us what you like. Comment. We out of here for Jay Hazze, A. White. Van won't be back next week, so be prepared for some more shenanigans next week. We appreciate y'all.